Today I'm going to show you, curated in color, where we live and how we live. And I'm just going to focus on the living room for today because, as you may be able to tell, there's a lot to talk about in this house. So what I wanted to share with you is my complete anti-HGTV philosophy when it comes to color. If you're looking for the white minimalist with some little gray accents, you're in the wrong house. Yeah. Also, this is why we have chosen at this point of our life not to downsize necessarily, but to maximize our enjoyment of the space that we have. And as I said, curated with color for a certain kind of energy that Ron and I choose to live with, but also some amazing finds and deals, because almost everything in this house, you'll be hard pressed to find beige really anywhere. And almost every single thing in it was bought used through thrift stores, through consignment, through Facebook Marketplace, through some Craigslist, through yard sales, through recycling places, that type of thing. Because when we first came to Tucson, we came in an RV. We had sold a home in Yuma, Arizona. And as it so happened, we had another whole curated collection there, and the buyer wanted almost everything. And so paid us a considerable amount of money beyond our asking price, paid cash for the whole thing, and bought all our furniture. So I kept some things that had special meaning to me, some things that, some older things Ron had that we put in actually just kind of a small storage unit down in Yuma, and we headed out in the RV. That's a whole story for another time, but we stopped in Tucson, which is several hundred miles from Yuma, and we were just hanging out in Tucson, and we started looking at houses. We were going to go back to full-time RVing, which we had done before, but we started looking at houses, and we found this one. And one of the things that's great about it for us as we are growing older is it's all in one level. There's no steps. There's a lot of things we did to it. We had to completely remodel it. The house is almost 50 years old. And I will talk about that on another video as well, of what we did to remodel this house and the adventure we had with that, because there was quite an adventure, quite a story with that as well. So this is our living room, and I'm going to just take you on a little tour. And why color means so much to me. It means it to Ron as well. Ron's legally blind, so that's another aspect of color for him, of what he can see. He loves the vibrancy of the color as well. And for me, there's energy in color. And we had to change the energy of this house, but we've always lived kind of in full Technicolor. We lived in Mexico for several years. We've lived in Arizona for over a couple of decades in a couple of different areas of Arizona. And now we're settled in this area of Tucson on about an acre, looking out at the mountains. If you saw my video about our Tucson wildlife, be sure you check that one out, because that's another really fun thing that happens on this property. I'm not using a fancy gimbal or anything like that, so I apologize in advance for if there's any little shakes. I'll try and be as steady as possible, but I just want to show you some of the things that mean something to us and why they were selected in the first place. Because everything here was done intentionally, thoughtfully, and joyously, because it makes us feel happy every single day. It gives us joy in the evening, joy during the day. Lighting is very important to me, the color of the lighting, the ambiance of the lighting. And I'm filming this during the day with sun streaming in our front window. But now I hope you'll enjoy the tour of our living room. And if you have any questions, please be sure you put them in the comments. And let's tell YouTube we value real content from real people. And if you give me a like or share it or a comment or subscribe, if you enjoy this type of content, as well as when I'm talking about marketing and mindset and all the other things that I discuss on this channel, my goal is to show you more real life, what's important to me, and how I hope this helps you. If it helps even one person find value, find joy, find peace, find gratitude. This, just getting ready to show you this, helped me have more gratitude for what we already have, the richness of our life in so many ways. So with that being said, let's take a look around the room. Okay, we're going to start at this end of the living room with some of my favorite pieces and the story behind them. So almost everything, as I said, has been purchased from thrift shops. That painting on the wall right there, I love this, with the mother and child. That was at a consignment store. I don't remember exactly what I paid for these things, but not that much. And when we redid the house, we ordered this chandelier. And part of the reason I wanted it was because of these, our Mexican teardrops, as I think of them. We lived in Mexico for several years, and I got these for a few dollars a piece in US dollars. I just love them. I love how they reflect the light. I love how I put color changing light bulbs, colorful lights, LEDs in there, and we have a wall switch to be able to control dimness. This mirror, as you can see, is quite large. And this we got here in Tucson. It was out in the back of some old piece of property. They had two of them. I have one in the other room as well. And I think we paid a total of $50 for the two mirrors. As you can see, they're very, very large. This lamp, another one of my favorites, was actually two lamps that we ended up with from consignment stores. I love the lampshade. I love the reflection of the light through it and the colors. But the lamp base itself was really deteriorated, so we bought another old lamp. Again, I can't remember what we paid for it, not much. And Ron rewired it and put it all together to make a new lamp out of two old lamps. And I really enjoy having this on every night. Now here's the kind of masterpiece of this corner, is this table and chairs. And it's all from Mexico, hand carved, hand painted, even the bases. I don't think you can see them down here, but the bases are great big blocks that are hand painted on all four sides with birds, hand carved, glass top. Seats 10, I don't know if we've ever seated 10 at it. One of the chairs is in the other room. And notice on the chairs, the design on the back, all hand carved and dimensional, is mirrored and reflected on the other side. It's not just painted on one side. And we bought this used here in Tucson from a couple that were moving, and they had purchased it from a Mexican restaurant at some point. We paid a fair amount for this, but it's also worth quite a bit more than what we paid for it. I love it. I love the birds. Sorry about the reflection here. But the whole tabletop is reflecting the ceiling right now. And the chairs is just alive with wildlife and birds. And even if we never sit at it, I just enjoy looking at it. And those blocks underneath it, the bases for it could be used as table bases. And I've often thought that if we ever decided to sell this, we could also put this whole tabletop on the wall. So another one of our favorites. Now let me introduce you to Raul. Everything has a story. And this is something we did bring back from San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, when we came back from there. Raul is life-size. We named him Raul, just because. And he's taller than I am, so he's about 5'3" or 5'4". He's made out of paper mache. He's truly Mexican folk art. He's standing with his foot on a skull. And he was built for a Day of the Dead parade in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And then this gentleman that we purchased this from had it up in his attic for some years. So Raul's at least 20 years old, though it looks like he's quite a bit older than that, if you know what I mean. And he has removable parts. His hat comes off, his sombrero. He has bloodshot eyes, so sometimes I prefer him to kind of be like that. He has a movable hand, so he can give you a thumbs up or neutral or thumbs down. He's wearing his 6-shooter, just in case anything breaks out at the parade, carrying his bottle of probably tequila. Maybe it's mezcal, I don't know. But we've had him for probably about 17 years. And kind of a funny story of how we came home from Mexico, because we hired someone who had dual citizenship to legally haul our possessions across the border from Mexico up here, but he used a horse trailer, a big long horse trailer. So Raul was all wrapped up, and he kind of looked, well, like someone who had a harder time and was now being transported back to the US completely wrapped in plastic. But somehow he got through the border okay. So here he is. He was fine. And he just kind of hangs out here in the corner of our living room. So turning our attention to the living room, let's take a little walk. And I have inexpensive little things like this little lamp. I found this at a thrift store. Why did I love it? Sparkly and purple, right? And I put a color changing, or a multicolored light bulb in the top there. I turn that on every evening. I've got everything on now just to show you. And again, I apologize for any rapid movements here as I walk you through the house. Let's talk about the floor for a minute because, well, again, I'll do another video about this, but we had to completely redo this house. And this is porcelain tile. And at one point we remodeled a big RV and we put this porcelain tile in the big RV and we liked it so much that we wanted to put it again in the house. And at the time in Elkhart, Indiana, we got a real deal on this porcelain tile through a vendor for something like $5 and something a square foot. Well, when it came time to do the house here and we checked out how we could get it, the only vendor for it was up in Phoenix and they were charging over $30 a square foot. So Ron got really smart and he got in touch with the people that we'd worked with in Elkhart, Indiana, and they got in touch with the people in Phoenix, and long story short, we got it for a little over $5 a square foot. The whole house has been porcelain tile. And then let's walk over here. It's an old table, bought it at a yard sale. It's probably over 100 years old. I love vintage lamps, and this one has a metal folding lampshade, kind of like the old blinds for the window, and a floral base in perfect condition. Again, I don't remember what I paid for it. I just love it because of its vintage look, kind of Art Deco. And turning to our furnishings, this was a super deal. This whole entire living room of leather furniture is Carol leather. Now, if you know anything about Carol leather, it's all done in real leather, real hides, very high end. Takes a long time to get it. They're based here in the US. And we got this. This is called the Jesse James collection. It came with a chair, with a hassock. It's got cowhide inserts in the arms. This is the other chair that goes with it, with the nail head studs. It's super comfortable. You see cowhide down there in the bottom. And I'm going to turn it slowly so you don't get queasy. And the couch that went with it, the sofa. We got the whole thing here in Tucson for about $2,500, and if you price it out, well, it's about 10 times more than that if we were to buy it new. And it's super comfortable. It's very heavy. Our dogs love it, so it has kind of a worn patina because two of our dogs like to jump up there and look out the window into the front courtyard. That'll be a tour for another day. But that's our Carol leather furniture. We love it. And then there's our fireplace. This is from San Miguel de Allende. It's black and white, hand-carved marble surround. It has wall tiles that go with it, but we didn't want to install those here. Ron had the experience of being able to go to what you might call a tear-down sale that was happening right outside of San Miguel de Allende of a huge hotel. There's a whole story about why that existed and why it was being torn down, but there were just these amazing things in it that were being sold separately. And so he got this marble black and white fireplace. Can't remember what he paid for it. It wasn't very much. Again, if we were to try to replace this here in the US, hand carved, no, I don't think so. And so it's a surround, and so we purchased an electric fireplace that just sits into the little space. We didn't have to do any remodeling of the surround of the fireplace itself, but it actually puts out heat, and I just love how it looks, and we can turn it off and on. We turn it off during the day usually. So that's there. And then I love Trees of Life. These are old from Mexico as well. And this is one of my prized possessions, my butterfly lamp. It's hand-fired ceramic from Mexico. I bought it off of eBay for hardly anything. It has survived being packed and shipped and stored and all of the things. And I put a color-changing light bulb inside of it. The inside of it is painted a really fiery orangey red. And then it has these little inserts that reflect light as well. Ron redid the lamp so that it would be safe as far as wiring. It's old. And I love the big sparkly butterfly, the sparkles, the flowers, and the way the light comes through all the little spaces. I just love the ambiance and the energy of color and light. And that is a photo of Luna, the dog of our heart. We lost her almost 8 years ago, but she still is with us in so many ways. We just still love her so much. So she's here with us as well. And another old antique Tree of Life. I think I bought that off of eBay as well. And then there's this, my dancing women. The indigenous dancing women. I love their energy. I love that they're carrying open vessels. I love everything about it. And the beautiful burnish frame. I bought this as a consignment store. I would not part with it. I simply adore the energy of this painting. And it's nestled inside a yard sale find. Let me back up so you can see it. This is all hand carved from Indonesia, probably Java or Valley, probably teak. It was at a yard sale not too far from us. Huge, heavy, difficult to move, beautiful colors in it. Move a little closer so you can see the intentional color. Probably was used as some type of temple surround or something like that. Took 3 people to get it to our house and 3 people to hang it on the wall because very, very heavy. And I think it makes a perfect place for this to nestle. And again, to try and replace that, I think we paid about $100 for it at a yard sale. So we love that. And we just love the eclectic aspect of this. All of our artwork, almost all of it has been purchased at consignment stores. Don't remember original prices, but most things were $100 or less, probably, all framed. The lamps are another favorite. These are from San Miguel de Allende. They are hand-painted Talavera. They didn't have shades on them. I bought the lampshades for them. And I think we paid in US dollars about $30 each for them. Love the design. Love the warm glow. Would not part with these either. And again, more of the artwork. This is one of the caves in Arizona. This is, again, we got a lot of reflection, but Sedona. You know, it's like double matted, framed, all of these things. And let's go over here. When we purchased this house, they left some furniture in it. And so this cabinet was in really bad shape. So I bought some new knobs for it. And it painted it. And it holds all kinds of things for us. The runner on the top is from San Miguel de Allende also. I love my little candle-y things. I have them on timers so they all go on at night and have the little flicker. And then we have an electronic picture frame with granddaughters mostly and our dogs. And then we have our marbles. We haven't lost them yet. These are Ron's. They were his mother's. There's marbles in there that are over 100 years old, and certainly everything in there is at least 80 years old. And it's just, we just like them. So I found a really heavy glass vase that they could rest in. And again, artwork that I bought in a consignment store. Love our cactus. I'm very fond of this. This was original artwork I purchased in San Miguel de Allende when we lived there, and I just love the whimsy of it, love the colors, love the expressions, the whole bit. And then our sun, which we install light into so I can turn this on every night from a wall switch. And that's also from Mexico. Metal, hand cut and shaped. And we just love that. All these things make just this beautiful glow at night. And we really enjoy that. And this is the other piece of the Carol furniture that came with this entire set, was this rocking chair. It is so incredibly comfortable. Beautiful carved woodwork, leather upholstery, pillows from Mexico. And I love the little villagey scene on the pillow. And a Stephen Morath piece of art, the pickup on the dogs and the piece of pie and the table, Arizona scene, love that. This corner cabinet was another piece that was left in the house for us. They just didn't want it. Okay. And one of my goals has been, I've thought about painting it in a folk art style, just haven't. I would like to install some lighting in it. I've got lots of little odds and ends. I need some shelves and some lighting inside it. But an old bowl that I found at a yard sale, just I love the rustic aspects, some Mexican oilcloth, and a little vignette. Love this, with the little hats, tiny little doors. Love that. And this is also from a thrift store. And I loved it because look at the color against our wall. Perfect. It looked like it was meant for this house, and it's got birds in it. I love birds as well, and bird scenarios. So there's the birds. And then I found this. This is from Haiti. I actually found it at a little collectible shop here, hand-painted bird. So it goes nicely with this. And we'll skip that room for now. And back to our table. So that's our tour. There's Raul. There's our view out the front window. Let me just take you over here for another few minutes, because on another day, if you're interested, I can show you our courtyard. Ron designed it. We hired a muralist, but we told him what we wanted. And you can see some of that stained glass that we brought back from Mexico has been inserted in courtyard openings that Ron designed. We made the whole courtyard enclosed, so we have a gate out to the rest of our property and out to the street. Our hummingbird feeders, which get a lot of action every single day. We have lots and lots of hummingbirds, a fountain. And we look out at this on the front, and then the back is our mountain view. So that's our tour for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please put in the comments if there's anything you'd like to know or any thoughts you have about it. And tell me how you might use the energy of color in your life or your home. And I want to thank you again for being here today, because you know what? We're not done yet, and it's never too late. This is Tina Lorenz, and I will be talking to you again soon. Bye for now.